Hey guys, Matt here from iTech224 bringing you my very first What's on My iPhone video. Now this has been requested a few times, and if it goes well then I'll go ahead and do a What's on My iPad video, maybe a What's on My dock, and definitely a What's on My Nexus 4 video. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to keep this as short as possible for you guys. We'll start with the dock here. First of all, I have Byte SMS, which is by far the best SMS client available through jailbreak. You can get that in Cydia. I forgot how much it costs, but you can go ahead and just search it and it is in Cydia. It's awesome. You get quick compose, you can get quick reply, which is awesome. Next to that, I have Mailbox, which is what I use for my mail currently. This is a new Mailbox app that a lot of people were talking about. I didn't do a review on it because I felt a lot of people were doing it, and I don't know, I just didn't really feel like I needed to do one on this particular app. But it's a great app and I like using it. It has a great interface. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Just go ahead and look up a Mailbox review and it's pretty nice. Next to that, I have Chrome, and that is what I'm using right now as my default web browser on the iPhone. Now the main reason I'm using Chrome on my iPhone is because on my Mac, I'm using Chrome as well. So the main thing I really like is be able to sync tabs over wirelessly without me having to copy a link, without doing any other work. It just automatically syncs over. You could do it in Safari, you could do it in Chrome, but you can't do it within each other, so I can't send it from Chrome to Safari and vice versa. So that's why I'm using Chrome right now. Plus, with Cydia, I can make it my default browser, which is nice. So I'm trying it out for now. I'll probably switch back, but I like it for now. Next to that, I have my music folder. And in here, there's basically just a few music apps that I use. They're not necessarily music apps, but it's basically whatever I listen to, this is where it is. So we start with the stock music app. I use that for all my music. Next to that, I have podcasts, which is what I really listen to all the time. This is my main thing. I listen to podcasts every day. I consume a lot of podcasts. I'll just leave it at that. Next to that, we have Pandora, which I use occasionally. I used it a lot more a little while ago, but I kind of stopped. But I still use it. TuneIn Radio is nice. I use that for the weekends when I'm listening to That Tech Guy show by Leo Laporte. And that is normally on the radio, but with TuneIn I can listen to it through Twit, which is nice. Then I have SoundCloud, which I just barely started getting into. I don't use it all that much, but there are definitely some cool songs on there that I enjoy using. And then next to that is Audible, and that's for a few audiobooks that I'm using for school right now. I don't use it too much except for that. So that is it for what is in my dock. Now let's go ahead and move into what is on my first page. So this page is basically stock as it comes in iOS 6, but I just added stuff into folders that correlate with the apps that are already there. So on the top we have phone, calendar, photos, and camera. Then we have videos, and here I have my streaming tab. And in here is where we have YouTube, then Jasmine, which is another YouTube player made by the same person of Alien Blue, which is a Reddit client, which I'll get to in a second. But these two are for YouTube. Then I have Vimeo, Ustream, and Revision 3. The Revision 3 app sucks, but I put it on there. I don't even think it works on the iPhone 5, but I just put it on there. I haven't actually used it. And Ustream is just there for the off chance that I need to use Ustream. Next to that, I have Google Maps. Then I have Passbook, which I do use for Starbucks, but that's about it. In here, I have my weather apps. So this is the stock weather app, the Weather Channel, which I use all the time. This is my main weather client for when I want to check and actually get real statistics on what's happening. And then I like it because it has radar, so I can look at what's happening with rain and snow, although it doesn't snow here. Next to that, I have Haze, which is a really well-designed and really cool and nice and fun weather app. I don't really use it. I just like it because it makes a lot of noises. You can't hear them right now because I have it on mute. But it's really nice. I think it was free. I'm not 100% sure on that. It might have been like 99 cents. But it's cool. It gives you all the information you're going to need. And it's cool and it's nice at a glance. You can change the different themes. You can go side to side. It's nice. I like it. Next to that, I have High Def Radar, which I use for radar. I don't really use it that much, but it just seems like a little bit more accurate than the Weather Channel. And below that, I have Weather 2X. I don't even actually know what this app is called. I'm just reading it from the title. I never use this, but it just looks really nice in the iPhone 5. It looks really nice. The design is amazing. So that is it for the Weather tab. So next to that, I have Notes. I'm not going to go into there, but that is basic Notes app. Then Reminders. This is stock reminders, which I use for school, and I like that because it syncs over to my Mac and to my iPad. Then I have Clear, which syncs over to my Mac, which is nice. I use that for all my YouTube videos, so whenever I have an idea of a YouTube video to make, I put it in Clear, and I can easily rank which ones I want. It's nice. Then I have Any.do, and I don't use that at all either, but I like the design. I actually started using it on Android, so I decided to get it here on iOS, and it's nice. I just don't use it. And next after that, we have my news folder, which contains Alien Blue, which is 100%, no doubt about it, the best Reddit client on any mobile device. I don't care what you say, Android, iOS, Windows Phone, BlackBerry 10, anything. This is the best Reddit client out there. It is really quite amazing. If you use Reddit and you're on an iOS device and you don't use this, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to download this. I think it's like 99 cents. I'm not 100% sure, but it is worth every penny if it is worth money. And it's awesome. Next to that, I have Pulse, which I use for all the tech feeds like Macrumors or Droid Life. I use that just for that. I don't really read it too much, but when I do, it's nice because I can get those websites that I don't normally want to go through the browser to get, and I can just read them in Pulse. Next to that, I have The Verge, which is my favorite tech blog, next to Engadget. I like Engadget, but The Verge is definitely better, but I have them both there just in case. On the next row, I have iTunes, the App Store, settings, just like it normally is. Then in this folder, I have my utilities. Now here is MyWi, which I use to tether from my iPad to my iPhone because my iPad is not 3G or 4G, but I use this so I can use that wherever. Next to that, I have Smart Alarm, which is awesome. It's actually what I use every day to wake up in the morning. I used to use the clock app, but now I use Smart Alarm and it works every time. What's awesome is that you basically set it to wake up and it detects your sleeping patterns based on movement on your bed. So you basically place it next to your pillow on your bed, and it detects the vibrations from when you're moving, and it detects what sleep patterns you're in, so it wakes you up at the best time within the range of time that you want to wake up. So say I want to wake up at 6:30, and say like at 6:20, I'm kind of in that light phase of sleep where if I wake up, I'm not going to be in a REM sleep where it's going to be like some weird thing's going to happen. I'm going to feel really tired. It wakes you up even earlier, even though you said you wanted to wake up at 6:30. It'll wake you up at 6:20 because it is the best time to wake up and you'll feel less tired. And I have to say, it really works. This app did cost money, but it does work and I love it. Next, I have the clock app, and I actually just use that for backup alarms. So if I don't wake up, then I set it for like 10 minutes later to actually wake me up, so just in case, you never know. Next to that, I have the remote, which I use to control all the Apple TVs in the house. I think I have 3 in the house, which is kind of crazy. I have one in the home theater, in here in my room, and I think there's one outside for the outside entertainment area. And so yeah, I use that for that, and sometimes for iTunes on my computer. Beneath that, I have something for my bank, which I use to check all my stuff. Next to that, I have deliveries, which is the best package tracker I've found on any platform. I like it because I have a widget for the Mac, so it syncs up, and it's nice to have, and it has a great layout. It tracks pretty much every service, and I haven't found one that doesn't track, and it works great. Next to that, I have SoundHound, then Red Laser for scanning barcodes, then DSLR remote, which I use sometimes when I connect my DSLR to my computer so I can actually see what the screen is seeing here on my iPhone. And it just makes it easier so I can actually see what I'm looking at when I have the camera facing towards me because I don't have an articulating screen. Next to that, I have Nest, which I actually use to control the thermostat, which is the Nest thermostat. I have a video on that, you can check that out, and the calculator. Then down here, I have my social tabs. So in here I have Tweetbot, I have Instagram, Vine, Google+, Pages Plus, which is for Facebook, so Facebook Pages, and Path. I'd never used Path, but I have one, just kept it there. I figured if it's there, I might use it sometime. So I'm gonna try to speed this up, but this is my next page. I don't have too many things, but in here, this is what I really use every day, but for whatever reason, I just wanna keep it off of the front page. I just keep it here in the corner. This, in my everyday folder, I have Evernote, Dropbox, Blackboard, which is actually what I use for school, so that's what the school uses to upload all their stuff for different classes. So you go there, you can download your assignments and stuff. That is what I use for school. I have Netflix, PayPal, which I use to check PayPal, Speed Test, so that's obviously Speed Test, Heart Rate, which I actually use to check my heart rate. It uses the flash and the camera to actually detect your heart rate, which is awesome. It actually works, and it is pretty accurate, so it's pretty nice. I don't really have a need to check my heart rate, but I do it, so it's nice that it's there and it tracks it all for you. Then I have Touchpad, which I use to control my Mac on my phone, so it's like a nice touchpad. I have Fandango, eBay, IMDb, Sketch, which works with Evernote, and that is where you can go ahead and draw in pictures and add little notes and stuff like that. I have Square, which is actually what you can use for mobile payments, which is nice. So you have the little dongle that plugs into your headphone jack, and you can go ahead and swipe a card and take payments like that. And Yelp. In the next folder, I have photo and video. So in here I have basically anything that pertains to photo and video editing or anything of that sort. So I have iPhoto, iMovie, Filmic Pro 2, which is a really good filming app that you can use with the camera, and it's awesome for taking video because you have much more control, like white balance and exposure and stuff like that. Next I have PicStitch, which I don't really use that often. I have 500 pixels. I have Flickr, Snapseed, which is an awesome photo editor if you want to try it out. It's free and it's awesome. It's from Google. Next to that, I have Photoshop Touch, which just came out, and it's really awesome that you can do so many of the cool things you can do in Photoshop. You can do them right on the phone or on the iPad. Then I have Face Bomb and Face Swap. I never use those, but I put them in there because they're kind of fun apps. Fast Camera, which takes a ton of pictures, and then you choose the one that you want, which is nice. I have Clear Cam, which kind of does the same thing. It takes 5 pictures and chooses the best one for you. And then I have Cycloramic, which is actually that app where you can set the phone down, and then it'll vibrate the phone and turn and take a panoramic image, which is really cool. I don't use that either. As you can see, it hasn't even been opened since I did this restore, but it's there because you never know. Photosynth, which is awesome. It's like what you get on Android with the Photosphere, but you can get it on here. It's from Microsoft, which is nice. Photogene 2, which I don't use because now I have these two apps. Snapseed is the best one, and iPhoto is a close second. And then I have YouTube Catcher, which, as you can see, I've never used either. Next, we have games, and I really don't play games hardly at all. I like playing games, I just don't do it. I have Real Racing 3, which is the best looking game on iOS or any mobile platform for that matter. It looks amazing. I did a video on that. You can go and check that out. I have Tris, which is a Tetris game that was actually out like one of the first apps ever on the iPhone, and it was almost immediately pulled because it's clearly a copyright violation. And since I already had to download it, it just never went away. And it still works fine. It's a great game. I used to play that all the time. I still play that all the time sometimes. Then I have Lasers, which is a cool game that basically you have to do little blocks, and you have to make the laser go into this little hole. So I'm not going to do that for you because this is taking too long anyway. Then I have Fruit Ninja Spinner, which is a cool game that actually the little pointer stays stationary and you have to get it through a maze by turning the phone. It's pretty cool. Then I have True Skate, I think that's what it's called. At least that's what it says right there on the icon. And that is a skateboard game. Don't play that. Then I have Tiny Wings and What's the Word. Next, I have Miscellaneous. So this is just a whole bunch of apps that I couldn't really find a folder for. I have Amazon, Kickstarter, TurboScan, which I never use, but it's one of those things you just want to have. I have Facebook, which I just put in a folder because I don't want to deal with Facebook right now. I have Skype, Gplayer, which actually lets you play different files on the iPhone, which is nice. You have to do it through iTunes, and then you can watch them on here. I have Wordland, which is an awesome app. This is an augmented reality app where if something's in a different language, you point the camera at it, and in real time, it translates it, which is awesome. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me know and I'll make it. It's really pretty incredible that you can do this. I have Starwalk, which I don't use, but I always find myself in a situation where I need it, and it's such a big app that I can never just download it right at the spot. So I put it here because there's always some time that I need it. Then the Dark Knight, which is an awesome augmented reality app. And I thought about making a video on this a while ago, but the Dark Knight was kind of like, it was already past its prime. So I just didn't, but it's an awesome app. If you guys want to see that, let me know. So next up, I have my iApps, which is basically all the stock apps and apps from Apple. So I just threw them in here because I don't use them. Like, really, who uses the compass? I'm sure there's a few people that do, but I don't. And like voice memos, I use that sometimes, but contacts, I never use that. I just use the phone. So I just put them in here. I know I could delete them through Cydia, but that's just not something I want to do. I also have some apps that I downloaded from the App Store from Apple. I have Find My iPhone, iBooks, iTunes U, Trailers, and the Apple Store, which I actually do use the Apple Store, but I rarely use it, so I just keep it in here and I know it's there so I can find it quickly. So next I have my Cydia folder, which is all the things that have icons that I just threw into a Cydia folder because I like having folders. And that is basically it for all the apps that are on my iPhone. So I do have some Cydia tweaks and stuff like that, but it's very minor stuff that really don't affect the phone. They're just kind of there to, I don't know. I don't even know why I have them installed, to be honest. They're just there because I have a jailbroken phone, so I figured why not. So anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you like it. I know it went super long, but I wanted to make sure I hit everything on my phone, and I know you guys wanted to see it, so I went ahead and did it. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see what's on my other devices, because I'll definitely make those for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That would be awesome. And if you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. And if you watch this video and made it all the way through, I applaud you because this was a long video. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.